Pregnancy nausea is probably like the #1 thing I do not like the most about being pregnant. If you're at the point where you can't even drink water, you've come to the right video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about pregnancy nausea. Before I go over foods that you should avoid and foods that will alleviate your pregnancy nausea, first I want you guys to go get you guys some morning sickness bands. And I've tried 2 different ones. The first 2 of my pregnancies, I've tried the PSI bands. You can get the PSI bands from Target. And for this last pregnancy, I used the C bands. I got the C bands from Walmart. And they're pretty much these 2 bands you put around each of your wrists, and they push down on the pressure point like 2 fingers below right here. I guess when you apply pressure on both sides of your wrist, it calms your nausea. And I'm telling you, this really helped me, and I wore it all throughout my pregnancy. I had to buy like 2 of them for each of my pregnancies because I wore them so much that they would wear down. So that's what you should definitely do first before you figure out, oh my gosh, what foods do I need to eat? Just go ahead and get you one of those wristbands. They're like $8 to $9. It's pretty cheap. So the first foods you want to avoid are foods with artificial flavors and artificial sweeteners. And that's pretty much everything. No, I'm playing. That's, you know, the candy, some of the artificial sweeteners in oatmeal. Like, you can find this stuff in everything. So you want to avoid foods that have this because it will make you feel really sick. You want to try to go and eat all natural food. Try to limit your intake of processed foods because that will also make you sick. I don't know why, but it does. It's like your body knows what foods are bad for you, and your baby's probably in your tummy like, ugh, don't put that in here. You can wait till I get out because I'm not trying to eat that nasty food. 3, avoid herbs like cilantro, fresh herbs. Try to avoid fresh herbs like cilantro and all those other herbs like basil. Every time I would eat food or I would go eat at a restaurant, I would make sure all that stuff would stay out of my food. I even made sure green onions was out of the food that I ate because it would make me so sick. For tip number 4, you want to avoid carbonated drinks. Now, I know a lot of people say drink ginger ale, drink some sparkling water, and sometimes it does alleviate your nausea, but it can also aggravate your nausea and make you even feel more sick. There was a point in my pregnancy when I could tolerate sparkling drinks and ginger ale, but after like a week or 2, it made me so sick. If you do have to drink ginger ale, I would try to drink the no sugar added one. I think it has, like, if you look in back of the bottle, it has no high fructose corn syrup. So you know it's sugar-free. That's another tip. Try to avoid foods with high fructose corn syrup. It's just gonna make you so sick. Like, it's super sweet, and like I said, your body just knows that you should not be eating or drinking any of that stuff. The next tip is you want to avoid eating chocolate. Chocolate is really acidic. That's along with coffee. You don't want to eat chocolate or coffee because, like I said, it's gonna make you really sick and you're gonna be puking a lot. I'm telling you. Each of my pregnancies, I couldn't do any of that stuff. With that being said, you also want to avoid eating dairy. So do not try to eat ice cream. Do not drink milk. Do not try to drink milkshakes or smoothies with yogurt. Don't even eat yogurt. You want to make sure the foods that you eat doesn't contain dairy because that's just gonna sit in your stomach. It's not gonna digest, and when it comes out, it's gonna taste spoiled. Like, it's just gonna be so disgusting because your body just doesn't even want to bother digesting that stuff. It's just too heavy on your stomach. And another thing you want to avoid is leftovers, foods that's been sitting out, and microwavable food. Obviously, those are foods that you shouldn't be eating, but you especially don't want to eat these foods when you're pregnant. Like I said, your baby just knows and your body just knows those foods are not good for you. Well, they're not, it's not that they're not good for you, your body just won't tolerate it. You're so sensitive at this point, your HCG levels are high, and pregnancy just will not tolerate a lot of things. So if you're just like me, whose pregnancy nausea was just so bad, pretty much borderline hyperemesis gravidarum, then listen to these tips so that you can survive your 9 months of pregnancy. So, foods that is going to alleviate your nausea, foods that's gonna help make your pregnancy run smoothly and help keep you hydrated. Now, like I said, if you're at the point where you can't even drink water, you can't even drink bottled water, and you're thinking like, how are pregnant women recommended to drink a whole bunch of water when I can't even tolerate taking a sip of water? Here is the trick. You want to make sure that you put lemon in some cold water. Your water has to be really cold. Warm water, right? You don't want to do that. Make sure you squeeze some fresh lemon in some really cold water. And like I said, if you can't tolerate ginger ale, the no sugar added one, make sure it's really cold or like slushy. Like it got to the point where I have to make my drink slushy because that's all I could tolerate. And if you don't like just lemon and water, I've also tried drinking the organic lemonade. It's like less than $2. I think you've seen it at the stores all the time. It's organic lemonade. All I could do was drink organic lemonade. The problem is though, is the sugar content. So what my doctor suggested, because I did show some concern about drinking lemonade throughout my entire pregnancy with that sugar, she just told me to add more water in it. So I would just, you know, maybe like a 2-to-1 ratio with the lemonade and the water, and that helped a lot, and it helped me stay hydrated. Also, another food that will help alleviate your pregnancy is some ramen noodles. Now I know it is so processed and it's not good for you, but for some reason, all 3 of my pregnancies, I could tolerate some ramen noodles. Now you have to get the ramen noodles with no MSG, okay? Because MSG is so bad, okay? I know all the ingredients in there are already bad, but for some reason, I could tolerate the top ramen noodles with no MSG versus the other like Nissan ramen or the Maruchan. All that I just couldn't tolerate because it had MSG in it. Also, these are foods that helped me, so this might not help you, but you can also try it. Foods that helped me was cheese pizza. It had to be fresh. It couldn't be frozen cheese pizza. And it couldn't be, no offense, pizza from Pizza Hut. It had to be pizza that was like freshly made, you know? It couldn't be like, but I couldn't eat their pizza. I had to eat pizza that was being made right there and then. Pizza from like pizza parlors. What also helped me was egg salad, and I did put a little bit onions, and I ate a lot of relish. You know how like some pregnant women like to eat pickles? Well, I used to eat a lot of relish. I would put a lot of relish in my egg salad, and that would help me. And maybe I would eat tuna salad maybe once or twice throughout my pregnancy, but that was about it. But like I said, I would put a lot of relish, a lot of mayo. Another good thing that helps is some hot white rice and some scrambled eggs. Actually, those 2 things that's helped me throughout my pregnancy. And you also want to experiment sometimes based on your pregnancy. Like for me, my first pregnancy, all I wanted to do was eat meat, right? And I couldn't eat fruits or vegetables. My second pregnancy, all I could do was eat meat. That's all my body craved. My third pregnancy, I couldn't eat meat and I couldn't eat fruits or vegetables. All I wanted to eat was carbs, and that's all I could tolerate. So you just want to experiment to see, oh, maybe all I can do is eat meat, fresh meat. Oh, maybe all I can do is eat fresh fruits or fresh vegetables. Just figure out what your body can tolerate so you don't end up throwing up every time you eat and regretting getting pregnant. Like, you don't want to feel like that. Pregnancy should feel good, and it should be something that you look forward to the end when your baby comes. Also want to let you guys know to make sure when you do eat, make sure your food is fresh, it's hot. It got to the point where I couldn't even pack snacks for work because my food, like I said, had to be fresh and hot. So I would have to hit the cafeteria during lunchtime, or I would heat up some ramen noodles. I literally was eating ramen noodles breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, that's how bad it was. But I'm so burnt out for ramen noodles, I'm not even gonna go there with ramen noodles right now. And if none of these tips work, if you do go to the doctor, they do prescribe you like their first line of nausea medications, which is safe for pregnant women, which is vitamin B6 and Unisum. And I did have to take that because mine was so bad. I took that with every pregnancy, but I would only take it for like a month top, the Unisum and the B6 combo. And after a month top, when I felt a lot better, I was just taking the B6 3 times a day. Now, don't go off of what the doctor told me how to take it. Don't go off of that. Go off of what the doctor tells you to take it, because I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nurse practitioner, so I cannot prescribe any medications to anybody. This is just what they told me to do and what I followed. So if you guys don't want to take any like real medications that might affect the baby, just some vitamin B6 and Unisum is safe to take. Of according to my doctor. So you guys can also try that route. Hopefully these tips help you get through your pregnancy, because let me tell you, I was nauseous from 6 weeks to the day I gave birth, and I was looking forward to a milkshake, like an Oreo milkshake. If you guys like this video, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and comment below and let me know how your pregnancy nausea has affected your pregnancy, and if any of these tips has helped you, or maybe you have some tips for anybody else who's suffering and that I haven't mentioned. Please share, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.